Alrighty, my friends, welcome back. Well, I wish we were meeting under different circumstances. Instead of Bitcoin going almost down to 78,000 right now, just in front of us, it went down to like 79,500 something. So we're getting close. I think we're getting very, very close to the bottom here. We'll talk about everything that's obviously happening here with the Bitcoin miners. There's not much news on the miners except for Stronghold. They had the shareholders vote. We'll talk about that. We'll look at some stock performance on the miners here on different time frames, just to compare where we are right now. I'm sure we're going to be down even more tomorrow by the end of the day. Just where the Bitcoin's going right now. So we'll take a look at that. Look at some positive news as well that we have here. We'll look at also some Bitcoin charts as far as cycle tops and bottoms as well. So we have quite a few things to get done tonight. It won't be as long as yesterday, but who knows? We might go pretty long depending on the questions and comments and everything else. All right, let's get through this here. So, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Please do your own research as always. Full disclosure below that. And if you would be so kind, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out. That is all I ask of you guys. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is having a bad month. It's ending it pretty badly here, but here it is. Here's a chart on Bitcoin, right? We went past the 200 simple day moving average, which is the green line here on Bitcoin. Today we passed through it. We were kind of, well, today on Friday, we actually ended up in the green here a little bit, but it was up higher and then it came back down. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, we're going to be definitely seeing a possibility of it going down even more. And sure enough, new day came along and it just like ripped right down. So if you look at the last hourly chart here, you can see it's just nothing but red in the last couple hours here. We're finally getting a little bit of a green here, but on the daily here, we are where we are right now. We're below that. We got down to a low of 79,463 and 62 cents. We're currently at 80,000 as it is right now. I still think that we might come down a little bit more here. The reason for that is that CME futures gap here, which we got pretty close to that. We actually got in the zone here, right? You got the gap right there. Here's the gap between like 77,900 something and right around there, 80,700, something like that, right? So we have that gap there. Historically, gaps like to get filled, and sure enough, what we're seeing here is we are definitely coming down to that. The good thing is on the CME futures here, the 200 daily average is still below that. So we still possibly have a little ways to go before we bounce off of it here, because we have bounced off of that 200 simple moving average as well back here in October. Now, going back to Bitcoin here really quick, on the RSI, come on, pop it up, there it goes. RSI is really, really low. We haven't been this low. It's at 22 right now on the day. The last time we were at this point was 2 years ago, or was it 2 years? Maybe more than that. It was back, way back in 20, where's it at? Come on. I saw it over here someplace in just a minute ago. There it is. Okay, right here. This was back in August of 2023. So this is definitely going way further back. At the RSI at that point was at 19 at the low. So we still could go down on the RSI a little bit more, but I think this is definitely going to bottom us out here. If we do fill that gap here in the next day, which we might do that today, which is Friday now, or if that doesn't happen, we might do that over the weekend possibly and start out fresh here on Monday for the new month of March. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here on Bitcoin, at least right now. Miners had a mixed day today. Some were actually up in the green today. I think it was because of their earnings releases that came out. Those have pumped some of those guys here. So those were looking a little bit better than some of the other miners, but it was just not a good day. We were off to a good start in the morning, but things definitely turned red on us here relatively quickly during the rest of the day. Okay, so there's Bitcoin there. Bitcoin right now on the month of February is down about 19%. We were probably down 20% just a little while ago as that has played out. A couple of things that I wanted to point to you guys here on the charts of Bitcoin as far as like stock to flow, right? Stock to flow model has not turned yet to like it's now at the orange line, and the orange or the orange dot, what that represents is days until next halving. And historically, when we get closer to the halving, I mean, it's usually much higher. The color is different on it. And we still haven't really gotten up close to where it's actually showing. So I think we're still got a little bit more time there. Next is this Bitcoin cycle extreme oscillators. Excuse me. You can see where the tops are in kind of like this peach color here, right? That's kind of the tops being shown on it. We haven't had that yet happen here as well on Bitcoin. So I think this is just a natural correction that we're having in Bitcoin. and I've talked about this before, as Bitcoin goes up in value, the higher the value is dollar-wise, the corrections are going to be much more substantial if we do continue to have these where they go down 30% on Bitcoin, because 30% retracement on Bitcoin at 100,000 is basically 30,000. It's not the same like we saw back when Bitcoin was at 20,000. 30% retracement was only like 6,000, right? So it's a different animal, a different beast altogether right now. It's just going to be much more prominent or much more visible. It's going to be probably a little bit more painful as well, because you're talking at multiples of dollar figures now than what we had in the past when Bitcoin was much lower in price. Okay, but so I still believe that we are not out of the cycle yet. We haven't peaked yet. This is just a correction that we're seeing here potentially. And I'm still a strong believer of that is the case right now. Going back here, what else did I want to show you guys on this one? There was something else. Oh, the weekly chart still looks pretty good, right? We're still above the 50 simple moving average on that one. So that's looking pretty good there. The corrections monthly is still looking pretty good here right now as it is. I mean, it is a nasty month though. We're down 21,600, well, 21,700 right now as it is. Last time we had such a sizable drop was back here. This was back in May of 2021. We were down on Bitcoin for that month in May, 20,519. So this is the biggest drawdown that we've seen here historically in Bitcoin on a monthly chart when you look at it that way. So with all that being said and done, we are getting close. RSI is really, really low, way oversold. We got the fear and greed index being really low at 10, probably even lower now, possibly. So a lot of things are just pointing to the fact that we might be bottoming out here, but we'll see. I think if we can fill this gap here either today, on Friday, or over the weekend, that's going to be a good sign for us. And we do have some support here at a little bit of support around 76,000, something like that. So I think somewhere around here, if we bottom out, then we might be able to continue going back up. But we'll see. You guys can let me know what you guys think as well on this. This is kind of what I'm seeing here on it right now. Nothing is really pointing to the top of the cycle, at least not yet. That's why I'm still bullish on it, and I will probably be buying some of the miners tomorrow as well. I gotta move some cash around and things like that, but I will be buying tomorrow if we dip even more on it. Hopefully I get in a pretty good entry point here. Okay, so that's it on those two things that I wanted to show you guys here. The couple of good stories that we do have here on Bitcoin, which is actually one good story here. Texas here, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill passes committee and now heads to the Senate floor. That's great there. Texas might be like one of the first states to actually have an actual Strategic Bitcoin Reserve happening for them. They obviously have a lot of miners in that state. They're very pro-Bitcoin as it is, pro-miners. I could see them being like the first state that actually gets it here, but we'll see. Excuse me. All right, next story here is really quick here. Stronghold stockholders overwhelmingly approve merger with Bitfarms. So Bitfarms can go ahead and proceed with the merger with Stronghold there. We will see when that happens. They have been saying that it should happen sometime in the first quarter. It's looking like that's going to be the case here, unless something changes. It is definitely going to be a little tough for them going forward. And we didn't really look at the miners here. We got to look at the miners as well, how they did today. With Bitfarms being at close to $1 now, $1.09, they were down 3.54% today as well. That's going to mean possibly more dilution, I believe, based on what they were offering the company for Stronghold there. So we're definitely going to see some more dilution happening because of that. They're just going to have to push out more shares in order to acquire Stronghold, unless they, I mean, I don't know if they have an option to back out of it or not, but I think it's going to go through. So definitely going to see a lot of dilution here happening in Bitfarms. Okay, so something to keep an eye on. The MicroStrategy today also had a pretty bad day, down 8.82% on that one. BitDeer actually had a pretty good day. It was up 6.24, was up much higher when it started out in the morning, but then it came back down. Cypher was down 4.9%. It also had a much better day today in the beginning, and then it fell down as well. Cleanspark was down 4.7%. CORZ was up 6.89%. It did better in the beginning of the day, then came back down. It was up, what was it, like 12, 15%, I think, at one point. Hive was down only 1.45%. Hut was down 3.5%. IREN was down 7.4%. This one's getting down pretty low here. A lot of these guys are getting close to their bottoms here. Let me see here. IREN still has a little ways to go here, it seems like. Mara is down, was up today, 5.46%. Riot was down 3.13%. Wolf was down 2.96%. Some of the smaller miners were down as well. Mawson was up a little bit here. ETFs were in the green in the morning and then ended up in the red in the day at the end of the day here. So Bitcoin dominance is at 60.7, so it is increasing here a little bit. I don't even want to look to see what the old coins are doing right now. Yeah, Doge was down 7% today, down to 19. Gold was actually down a little bit here, it seems like. Semler was down 7. Can was down 5. IWM was down 1.5. KangG was down just a little bit, 0.5. And then Applied was down 3.3. Trump coin was down 9%. Meme coins are doing great. Tesla was down 3%. Galaxy was actually up 0.6. Nvidia was down 8% as well. Great numbers and everything else, but everything's going down. So hopefully we can end this February and be done and over with this pullback. Trump also talking about tariffs on Europe is not helping us at all. And then also talking about Canada and Mexico having those go on March 4th, I believe. Their tariffs is not helping. So hopefully things calm down here in March. We shall see. All right, that is it for all these guys here. The stories that I want to talk to you guys about. Let me see here. Talked about the charts, right? We talked about Bitcoin stock to flow. We talked about the Bitcoin cycle extreme oscillators. So we're good there. Let's take a look at the miners here just really quick. Miner stock performance over time here, just in comparison to where we are right now. I have a chart for this year so far. So basically year to date, how have the miners done? It's not pretty, but we'll take a look at it nonetheless. So we got a couple dates here. We're looking from the fourth quarter, or beginning of the fourth quarter here on the miners. We still have BitDeer being up 56%. Bitcoin's up only 39%. Everybody else has underperformed here, with Bitfarms being down the most, almost 45%. Hive down 31%. Then we got Marathon, Cleanspark around 12%. CORZ down 8%. Iris is actually up 1.6%. Cypher up 10%. Riot up 22%. And HUD up 24%. If we look at from the beginning of the second half of 2024, all things look a little bit different. Bitcoin's up 34%. Everybody else has underperformed Bitcoin here. CORZ is down, up only 8.7. BitDeer up 2.8. HUD is down 5. Riot is down almost 13. Cypher down almost 16. Hive is down 36 and change. IREN is down 37. Marathon is down 41. Cleanspark is down 58. Bitfarms is down 59. Not great performance here compared to Bitcoin. Then when we look at from the beginning of last year, CORZ is actually up 211%, so that's outperforming Bitcoin. That's the only one that has outperformed here. Bitcoin's up 88%. BitDeer is up 22. IREN up 15. HUD up 14. Cypher up only 3, almost 4. Cleanspark down 30. Marathon 42. Riot down 43. Hive down 53. Bitfarms down 61%. And then from the bottom of the cycle, where we had back in basically December of 2022, I'm using the date of January 3rd here, which is pretty close to all that. Things look a little bit different. IREN is up 560%, Cypher up 520%, Bitcoin's up 407%, Marathon 286, Cleanspark 273, HUD 252, CORZ 211, Riot 156, Bitfarms up 155%, and Hive is up only 33%, BitDeer 3.81%. And here's the latest data from this year to date on how things are stacking up. Everybody's down. Bitcoin has so far done the best. And this was the price as of, I think I used 92,000 something here on Bitcoin. What did I use? 84. So it's definitely come down from where it's at right now. But BitDeer's down 52%. HOT is down 34%. Hive is down 34% roughly. Bitfarms down 32. CORZ 26. IREN down 24. Marathon down 23. Cleanspark's down 20. Cypher's down 17. Riot is down 17. And Bitcoin is down probably like 12, 14%, whatever it might be, from the beginning of the year. So not great performance here to start the year for the miners. That's why we need this bottom to happen, get it done and over with, and then hopefully things will go to the upside potential. Because historically, when we have bottomed out like this in Bitcoin, we do end up having a pretty nice rally afterwards. You can see here, this was the bottom of the cycle here back in August of last year, right? And then after that, what did we have? A nice little rally, but it was still choppy for a while, for a couple of weeks, months, and then we finally started to go back up and we had really nice gains there. So from the bottom to the top here, we were basically up 121%. if we happen to do that again from here and, you know, bottom out here somewhere around 75, 78,000 and do another 100%, 120%, we're looking at roughly 150, 170,000 on Bitcoin potentially over the next several months. So there's going to be pain, and this is definitely very, I mean, it's similar to what we saw here almost, like back in August. You can see we had a number of days where it was just dropping like crazy, and we're seeing the same thing happening here. So maybe it's playing out the same way, right, where we were kind of choppy here for a while as well. If you look at the chart here, we were choppy over here as well. Right, we're going up, down, and then finally whack. And that's kind of what we're seeing here right now on this happening here. So I believe we're getting close to the bottom here. Things are just pointing that way. I could be wrong on this as well. So we will see. We will find out in the next couple of weeks if this is the bottom or not, or if we just keep going down lower because of all of the FUD and everything else that's going on in the economy and all that stuff around the world. So let's get into a Q&A side of things. See what you guys have to say, what you guys think, what you guys are doing, anything in general and everything all together. So I'm going to go back here to the comments, questions. As always, if you could preface the questions with a question mark or a Q, I'm going to scroll up, see if we can find some questions up top that I missed already, and we'll work our way down as always. So bear with me. I will try to get to all your guys' questions. It's just a matter of time. Alrighty, let me see if I got any questions. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm going to scroll down here. I thought I saw a question here, or at least a good comment here. Stefan says, I thought we were going to bounce and consolidate a third time to mid 75. Seems like we're getting there now. Yeah, I would agree there. Let's see what else do we have here. All right, here's John's take. Hey, Seb, here's my take. Bitcoin needs to find the bottom to reset to no matter if it's 60 or 70, then possibly it will double. Otherwise, it will just meander going nowhere. NVIDIA is going to 90. Wow, 90 for NVIDIA? Okay. I could, like I said, I think mid 70s I think is pretty good. 60s, then we're getting into, what would that be? Drop to 60. Let's go over here really quick. So drop to 60% from the top. What is that going to be? That's going to be like over 40%. Right, so if the top was here and we go down to 60,000, yeah, that's a drop of approximately 45%. Historically, we have not had 40% drops. We've had 38% drops. 38 would bring us into 67,000 maybe, right? So maybe somewhere around there. I could see that happening, but I think if we get a 65% drop, we're looking at like bear market territory at that point. Where do I want to go? Back here. Okay. Sorry, Melon is saying it's over, folks. That was the nail in the coffin. I feel sorry for anyone. Bitfarms sub $1 coming. We might see sub $1 tomorrow with Bitfarms if this continues. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, sorry, trying to find a question here or comment. All right, here we go. Sold most of my NVIDIA, Netflix, Palantir, Meta with great gains after 2 years. Sold all my miners except 4K shares in IREN and 3K Cleanspark at 68% total loss. Investors trimming Mag 7 even with great earnings report. Our miners, investors trimming. Yeah, some miners, some investors are probably definitely trimming. Yeah. Chris says stock to flow is a scam. I don't know if it's a scam. I think it gives you where, I mean, it's been pretty close. It hasn't been exactly accurate 100%, but it gives you at least a path where things might go. Let's see. Cass says, I love the panic here. That's usually a good sign, right? That might be that where we're getting to the bottom here. Okay. Minor Digihost says, the entire cycle has sped up because of the ETFs. It has been a different cycle. I will give you that. We had a new all-time high before the halving event. That never happened. I mean, it's been a different cycle. Let's see. Gary has a question here. Seb, question. Are you surprised in the middle of the bull market you are having to answer questions about Bitfarms having to delist if they drop below $1? Yeah, I saw a couple questions on that in the comments, I think it was. And again, they will not delist. They have 180 days if they fall below $1 to get above $1. They have a couple options there. They can buy back shares to get it back above. They can also do a reverse split to get above there. So they have time. They can also extend that. a little bit longer than the 180. I think they can extend that out to another, like maybe 60 days after that as well. So I wouldn't worry about them getting delisted anytime soon here. Okay, Power says, I love these comments. Let's see. Good news is the bear market won't be as long as they normally are. Well, if we're in a bear market, we're actually very early in a bear market. So it's actually going to be a longer bear market than we normally would have if the cycles play out in the same way. Let's see. What's the chances BTC will drop below 70,000? Can you conduct a quick survey poll? I'm still holding my 55,000 XRP. Crypto I bought at 18 cents. It's now down to $2, but a better play than BTC and can go to $10. So let's see. Let's do a poll. Let's do a really quick poll. Bear with me while I put this in here. Start a poll. Will Bitcoin go below 70,000? Will BTC go below 70K? All right, start the poll. See what you guys have to say on that one. Okay, EDB. Hi, Seb. Do you think this is the last correction of the cycle? Possibly not. Historically, we've had more corrections when we go up in the cycle, but if it's the end of the cycle later on this year, right around the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter sometime, then we might go up to 120, 150,000 here in the next couple of months, and we might draw back down and then finish out the year, maybe 180,000, 200,000, or some are saying we still could end up at like 300,000. It's like, okay, I'd love to see that. I would be all for that, but I'd just love to see at least 180,000 to 200,000. That would be great. Okay. And Par says everybody was running to buy Bitfarms at $3, but nobody wants to buy at $1. There's reasons for this, right? The growth has been reduced, other things as well. So, yeah, I can see why. Par says, I'll be buying. Nice. I'm going to be buying tomorrow too as well, but not Bitfarms. I'll be buying probably some more Cleanspark and IREN though. All right. Let's see. Anyone buying at this lows, don't catch a falling knife, stay cash and on the sideline for now. The new admin will tank this to 60s and officially open BTC reserve April or May. Okay. That might happen as well. Okay. Question. My daughter wants to know if you ever thought about adding more animals to the background. The giraffe must be lonely. I don't have anything of that size, that big. So the giraffe is my companion. I get lonely down here in my little basement, whatever you want to call this. What else we got here? Frank says Trump is tanking our economy. It's really bad. He's not helping with the tariffs for sure. Okay, well, I'm trying to catch up with some comments, questions. Bear with me. Let's see. Par says Bitcoin is useless. I don't think Bitcoin is useless. I think Bitcoin has utility. Bitcoin, you can have it on your hardware wallet, whatever you want to have it on. You can basically transfer a penny or $1 billion on your person at any time from one country to the next country, and that is awesome. That's utility. Try transferring, $1 billion in cash or in gold. You're not going to be able to do that. Okay, Par says to sell everything and buy Japanese yen. Okay. I would not advise that. Let's see. We are donezo. I don't think we're donezo. I think this is just a correction that we're in right now. Let's see. Did you get all the info needed to update Mara charts? No, they have not still provided the 10K filing. So I need that because, like I said, some of the stuff, they put a lot of stuff in, but some of the stuff is missing and it just doesn't work with my numbers or my spreadsheet. So I need all the numbers there. And hopefully we'll get that. I don't know when we're going to get that actually. I'm guessing it's got to be audited, so it might be in a couple of days, maybe a week or two. I don't know. But once they do provide that, I'll be checking that every day. Once they do provide it, we'll go over it. Okay, let me see. So are you able to comment on Mara's 28K energy cost per coin? How does their all-in cost per coin compare to other miners? I know that is really low. They're talking about that as being I think it's 28,000 just for the sites that they own. I think that's what they put a little asterisk there for or something like that, or a footnote. So that's not the actual cost, because you have to include the cost for the other coins that they're generating at other sites that are hosted, which they don't own. So I think that's disingenuous a little bit there on their part to put that out there. Yeah, it makes it look a lot better than where they were, but I would have to wait until I get all the data for them, and then we'll see where they really come in at. Okay, let's see here. Big things might happen to bury Epstein's list to come out. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what that also comes out as. There was an actor and his wife and his dog died at the same time. Gosh, what is the actor's name? Some people are speculating that he was maybe a part of that or had something to do with it, but it looks a little suspicious that he and his wife and his dog died at the same time. So was it one of those? Oh, I don't want to say it here online, but you guys know what I mean. Let's see. Will WGMI outperform BTC this year? If the miners do, then WGMI will, right? So that's the only thing that's correlated to that. Okay. Yellow Gamer says BTC is not going to zero. Michael Saylor has a massive buy wall at $1. I think he's going to be underwater at that point. He might be bankrupt if it goes down that low. All right, let's see. Cleanspark is showing 718 right now on the after hours chart. Frank says, one good thing is if it keeps going down, I can be a whole coiner soon. And see, that's a nice way to stay positive, right? That's the way to, I think that's the best way to probably look at it, is look at the positive side of things. Okay. So, what else we got here? JK says, I really appreciate Orange Jesus. You're talking about Trump there. See, does anybody know where I can open a fixed 50x leverage on Mawara? Oh, gosh, I don't even know if you can do that. If anybody knows, let them know. LB says, relax, everyone. We have seen this before. Just buy the dip and hold strong. I agree with you. I'm with you on that one. I don't think this is like the end of the bull run yet. This is just a correction we're having. But time will tell if we're right. Okay. Paris says, I believe the Saudis are selling. It's not just the Saudis that are selling. It's the ETFs. The people that got into the ETFs are selling as well. I mean, we're seeing a lot of outflows of those as well over this past week. Okay, let's see. Global tariffs is happening, equals trade war, fighting, threatening allies, and siding with Russia is a recipe for disaster. Wake up, Seb, time to sell. For now, he's not a stable genius after all. I mean, you make great points there. I can't argue with those points. Yeah. But is it all talk? More so? I still think it's more of a negotiation tactic with him on all this stuff. For whatever reason, he just puts out some stupid stuff sometimes just to kind of irk people and make them think of, one thing, and then he'll do another thing. But we will see. Let's see. Are you able to comment on Mars 28 energy coin and how this compares to other miners? Yeah, I talked about that a little bit here. It's only for their self-mining sites that they own. It's not for the portion that's hosted with other miners. So that's the comparison there. So, but I need more data on it. I need the 10K from them to pull in all the numbers. Right now, I just don't have all the numbers right now. Okay. Revender says, we will go back to 100,000 tomorrow. I would love that, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think we have the end of the month, so isn't there some options expiry as well tomorrow, I think. So we get that out of the way, get Bitcoin down to 75, 78,000, I think we'll be good. I still have some 20,000. Which should I buy, IREN, Cleanspark, or and when? That is your call, my friend. Right? I can't tell you when to buy. I can only tell you that I've been buying about Monday. I probably should have waited to like today and maybe tomorrow, but I'll buy again tomorrow as well. That's what I'm doing. Cobra says the narrative is about tariffs, not about the potential BTC reserve. Yep. What else? Angel says, bought so many dips, I'm broke now. I know. I've been buying. Yeah. It seems like it's never ending. Okay. What would be a normal transaction fee in percentage? For Bitcoin transaction? Depends when you're transacting and how much traffic there is. So I haven't done that in a long time, so I don't even know where it's at right now. What else here? Let's see. Gary says Mara's all-in cost per coin is 134,333 per coin. That's including share-based compensation and depreciation, I believe, right? What's the next spot level after 78,000 for Bitcoin? I think for Bitcoin it's going to be, I mean, we have some support around like 76,000, slight support. But after that, it would be down to approximately 71,000, 72,000, something like that. That would be the next support level, potentially. See, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. Okay, that makes kind of sense. Let's see here. Fred bought Bitcoin at 95,000. Must be the most idiotic CEO of all time. Well, it wasn't just Fred. It was also Sailor bought it, right? 94, 95,000, right around there as well. So it's not just them. The other companies have also bought at that time. Let's see. Are you surprised with the fear and greed index at 10? I'm not surprised. I would be surprised if it wasn't that Bitcoin went down, 20 some odd thousand basically in a month. So I think that's the main reason for it, is just the dollar value that's actually come down here in this month. I think that's what's kind of contributing to that. All right. Let's see. Hi, Seb. I think BTC can drop to 72,000 before bouncing back and making new all-time high. That 72,000 wouldn't be bad. I think 72,000 would be okay. There's some support there. We could definitely see that. Dear Seb, where do you see Mara at the end of the year if Bitcoin goes to 150,000? If Bitcoin goes up to 150,000, I mean, you're looking at, from here, that's 100% gain roughly on Bitcoin. I would think that it would be up like 200%. At that point, at the bare minimum, somewhere around there. 150 to 200% is where I would think they would be. So if they're at $13, $14, wherever they are right now, multiply that by that, and you can see where they could possibly be at. All right, so you talked about that already. Let's see, Cobra says M2 money supply correlation with BTC for the upside is literally 7 days away. Okay, that wouldn't be too bad. Minor Digihost says 68,000 is his target. 68,000 might be a little too low. 68,000 would get us to, I mean, there might be there's some support there as well. But I think the first support that we have that's maybe a little better would be right around 70,000, 72,000, somewhere around there. Let's see, bad news, we all ran out of dry powder. Yeah, it's definitely getting tougher. Frank has a question here. I see a reversal of government entities who will pursue a BTC reserve. Your thoughts, please. A reversal? So you're saying that they will not go for it? We've seen some of that already in some states, right, where it hasn't gone far enough yet, or has been squashed more or less. So we've seen a couple of those. Yeah, I mean, the states are going to be interesting. Well, I think maybe the red states will be more for it than the blue states, but we'll see. Okay, a question: if Riot wanted Bitfarms for $230, what about now? With Bitfarms being at $1, right? I think a lot of the investors would be like, heck yeah, sell it for $230. I don't know if they can do it. I don't think they can put in another offer until 2026. I thought that was part of their deal there, but I could be wrong on that. Okay. Do you expect to see more consolidation among the miners in the near term, as far as like each other buying themselves out? I do not see that happening. Maybe the smaller miners, maybe, but even then, I think you can probably grow and build out cheaper than buying another public miner out. Okay, let's see. Question James from Invest Answers. Point out that a lot of the long BTC holders are selling their bags and moving to ETFs. I think the drops are playing out exactly what James found. Interesting. That might be the case. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow the BTC holders and where they're going as far as that is concerned. That might be the case there. I don't know. I mean, we're definitely seeing even the ETFs holders selling out. So it's just everybody. Let's see here. We all know IREN is there in the basement with Seb. Not so lonely. IREN is not doing as well as I would want it to do. If IREN is down here, it's in the doghouse right now. Let's see. Did you hear the rumor of the U.S. government had lost its keys to its Bitcoin and that Doge has recently fired the guy that thought had the keys? I have not. No. I heard something about, was it the U.S. Marshals on something that they had lost something, but I don't think it was the main pot there, but I heard something about that. Let's see. Christopher says it's going to get worse before it gets better. We needed this because all of the prices were in sky high la la land. MicroStrategy was way up there. A lot of these guys were up there as well. We needed a little bit of healthy pullback, and that's kind of what we're getting here right now. Revinder says, I see a V-shaped recovery tomorrow. That'd be nice. I'd like to see us at least get down to like that CME futures gap, get that out of the way, and then we can go up. I'd love to see that. Let's see. Can you buy some Mara tomorrow and join the Mara squad? Show your support. They ain't that bad. No, Mara team, I mean, none of the guys there that are for Mara, right? They're not bad. Yes, they're kind of sometimes obnoxious a little bit. But the company's not bad, right? They've been doing a lot better here recently than they have in the past. In the past, I've kind of griped on them a lot because of their operations haven't been great. Uptime hasn't been great, things like that. But they're doing a lot of great things here recently. I love what they're doing with the wind farms and everything else. And, who knows? Maybe I will buy a little bit of Mara. I definitely think there's a lot of upside here from where they are right now. Right here, let me see. Question, do you have a chart showing risk of dilution of each miner? A risk as far as going forward or the dilution that has happened here already? We'll do a dilution chart on all these guys when they get all the reports for the quarterly results for Q4. It's always going to be, a couple months out, but it's going to be out there. We'll take a look at to see who diluted the most quarterly, last quarter, and like last year as well. Which miner has the strongest balance sheet? Should I say goodbye to my money in case Cleanspark files Chapter 11? I am cooked. They're not filing Chapter 11 anytime soon. Unless Bitcoin goes to zero, then yeah, they're all cooked. I think the healthiest balance sheet here might be with Mara. Mara has the most coins, right? 40-some thousand coins. As long as it doesn't go to zero, they probably have the healthiest sheet there. They can sell the coins if they need to. So I would say they're probably the top one there. CORZ says, Hackman, yes, Gene Hackman was the actor, and I believe his wife died mysteriously along with their dog on the same date. That looks a little bit odd. Right? Did he take part in any of the Epstein stuff? Who knows? Hopefully that's not the case, but you never know. Let's see here. Bitcoin's going to 200,000. Epstein did not kill himself. Wasn't it that his wife also died as well, and their dog or something like that? That's kind of what I heard, but you just never know what you hear on X sometimes. All right. Yellow Gumber here. Hi, Seb. How do you see tariffs impacts if tariff costs pass to the consumer, inflation and high interest rates for longer? Are corporations taking a hit on profits and lower valuations? Yeah, so I see it's kind of the same way, right? If you get tariffs, that's going to be passed on to consumers. So that's going to lead to inflation on certain things that are coming in from overseas, from Canada, Europe, Mexico as well as China. They got tariffs on it. So the only way we could combat those things, so maybe people wouldn't be buying things from other countries. They'd be buying maybe U.S. stuff, and maybe that's what Trump wants also. I don't know. I'm not an economist at heart. I know a little bit about the economy and how it works, but I'm not experienced enough or knowledgeable enough to really go deep into it. How does it feel being delusional for a year? Well, for me, it's been a couple of years. I'm still doing good. I'm still hopeful. Question when Moon, once we get past this correction here. Let's see. Do you also see alts? Do you also do alts or anything like Flare? I do not. I have some alts, but I don't track the alts right now. I'm trying to get rid of them this cycle as it is. Let's see here. I think Zach from Cleanspark predicted this. That's why he recommended management to dilute their shares in convertible notes to take this opportunity to acquire more lands and miners. Oh, interesting. I did not hear that. Okay, let's see. What is your price target for Cleanspark and IREN at BTC at 120,000? So that's, what are we going? We're going up roughly, I mean, from here it'd be what, 50%, right? At 80,000? Yeah, it'd be 50% increase. And them, I would, historically speaking, last cycles and things like that, I would say that they should at least be double that or close to being double that. But this cycle has been completely off, completely different. So if they can at least get a 50% increase on it and then some, that'd be great. Okay. Let's see. So do you agree that Trump is scaring the market and getting in the way of the bull run, not only on crypto, but the entire market? Even NVIDIA was good earnings. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Market does not like uncertainty. They like things to be even keel, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, let things go the way they are. And they're going to be making their money one way or another. All this uncertainty about tariffs is not helping at all. What else here? Let's see. Is your father still holding CORZ stock? If yes, would you know what is his pain? What is his plan? He is still holding it. He got it in a much lower cost, right? He bought in during the bankruptcy. He got, I think the lowest that he bought in was like a 30 cents, 40 cents, something like that. So he's still looking pretty there right now on that one. And the plan is to hold on to it. I talked to him a little bit today on it. We talked about the quarterly results, which I thought were good. The plan going forward is good. Obviously, it's not great that they had to push out some of the growth for the HPCI business into 2026, but it's still going to be good. Plus, they got an additional more megawatts for CoreWeave there with an additional revenue from it as well. So he's still bullish on them going forward, and he's still holding on right now. At least right now, we're still holding. Now, we'll see where things go next week. And where Bitcoin goes below, 65,000 or something like that. At that point, I'm going to be probably selling everything, and so will he, probably. But we'll discuss that next week, if that happens. What else we got? All right, Cleanspark should not be in a danger since it is funded to 50 exahash, does not have ATMs and holds. What about IREN that relies on selling BTC and is working on infrastructure and has an open ATM? They should not be in any issue as well. They have really low cost to produce Bitcoin, right? So that's fine there. They also have a nice sizable right now cash on the balance sheet. And then they have the ATM they can pull on if need be. So I think they're okay. All right, let's see. Rome says, hey Seb, maybe history does not repeat itself this time around with BTC. That is always true, right? We never know. Unless all nations alienated by Trump join the BRICS nations as an alternative to dollar, BTC may skyrocket. Oh, that would not be good. But I don't think they would join with the BRICS nations. I think they would maybe have like their own, well, the euro. I mean, you got the euro there, right? They could possibly use the euro. All right. Question, how much money are you down as of today on all your Bitcoin stocks and the miners? Also, how much money did you originally buy in with since 2022? Let's see. I'm still up on Cleanspark. I think I'm down now on, my average on IREN was $8. So I'm down on IREN a little bit now as well. Cleanspark, I'm still up. My average on Cleanspark is $5 and something. I put in over the last 3 years close to 6 figures of my own money. A little bit less than that, a little less than 6 figures on it. So I'm still in the green a little bit. That's why I'm saying maybe I'm going to, depending where Bitcoin goes, where it actually, if it goes below 60, 65,000, I may just take my cash out, see where the heck things are going. See, Bitcoin's finally filling the 60, 76 CME gap. Maybe, right? We're getting close to that. I mean, we're at 79,900 right now. We got closer to that a little while ago. Okay, let's see. If we're not buying here, what are we supporting for? Man, good question. Let's see, if M2 is still growing, won't BTC keep growing as well? Yeah, that I don't know. You're going to have to ask economists on that one, but I've heard that before, that as long as the M2 supply is growing, that BTC should be growing as well. Revenue says Bitcoin will never go below 70,000. I would think the same thing. Let's see, Cleanspark should buy a crap load of shares back at this price. I think a lot of these guys should actually, right? Especially, well, ideally they should have been selling Bitcoin at a higher price, but I mean, if you're going to sell Bitcoin to buy shares, okay, I can see that being one of the things. Let's see, Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat there. Appreciate it. Let's see. With the drop in Bitcoin price, don't you think low-cost miners will excel and high-cost miners might not? I am buying Cleanspark. Yeah, Cleanspark is a low-cost miner. So is IREN. I think Cypher's, I had to look at Cypher's numbers, but Cypher might be in that boat as well. And then Mara, right, we're a little bit higher than those guys. So maybe, but we'll see. I mean, it all depends on the sentiment of investors, right? Where are they going to be putting their money into? Let's see, see me gap at 68.5. I do not see a gap at 68.5. Let's take a look at it here. I see a gap at, I mean, where are you seeing the gap at 68.5? I see a gap here at 68.5, 68.5. I don't see a gap here on it anywhere. I do see this gap here, which is at 77.9 or something like that. And then top of it is around 88 or 80,800, something like that. 88,900, somewhere around. That's kind of the gap that I'm seeing. But I don't see one at 68.5. Unless my chart is showing something else. I mean, there's a gap that we had here. That got filled at 62,000, 59,000. There was a gap down here at 60,000 and 58,000. That got filled. So, I mean, there's a little gap here at 61,000, but that got also filled. So this is the only gap that we have outstanding right now. If we fill this gap, that would be pretty good. Where are we at filling that gap as well? I mean, we're definitely getting closer to filling that gap. We got down to, it's not loading properly. Let me see. I don't see the gap here, but we're definitely, no, and the thing's not working on me. Let's see. Damn page. Okay. Let's go back to Q&A. Trying to catch up with all the comments and questions here really quick. Back to work at McDonald's, guys. Part-time job, yeah. So if you guys don't see me next week at all doing these streams, I'll be at McDonald's. Okay. All right, question. I think Cleanspark's business is about to play out. If we're actually going in a mini bear market, what miners do you expect to have their hodl to liquidate first? Thoughts? If we go into a mini bear market, what miners do you expect to have their hodl to liquidate first? Oh, so who's going to use their hodl first? I don't think any of these guys are. I think they're going to use the ATM if anything. But Cleanspark has funding enough to sustain themselves for a number of quarters, potentially at least 2 or 3 quarters, while they still build out to 50 exahash there. So I don't see them having to liquidate anytime soon here. And why would you now liquidate, unless we are really going into a bear market? Okay. Well, maybe it was ill-timed, I guess you could say. Let's see, Cobra says, prediction, you watch Trump will come out, start the strategic reserve next week. He can't. He's got to get it through the House and Senate there first. They got to basically rewrite the laws there a little bit as far as what they can hodl or have as a strategic reserve. So it's not that easy that he's just going to say it and do it. Let's see, what is a perfect time to start the reserve with this fire sale in BTC? Yeah, they got to get that law passed. It's got to go through the House, and Cynthia Loomis there is working on that. So it's just going to take a little time. John Snow, miners will take a big hit tomorrow morning. Yeah, you can see that happening. That's why I'm looking to buy a little bit more tomorrow. Let's see, question. I went heavy on Bitfarms a year and a half ago. I have since sold half, and I'm wondering if it's a load the boat moment with Stronghold deal done. Good question there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the growth being declined or reduced here this year. and just the other things that they have done here recently. I know that they're turning the ship or steering the ship in a different direction. Okay, that's fine. It's going to take a little while to get that done, and maybe then they can execute on things. But so that's up to you. I have also sold 2/3 of my shares that I had in Bitfarms here in the last 2 to 3 months. Do you do stop loss or trailing stop to minimize losses on your portfolio when stock drops? I will be doing just a stop loss. I'm going to put in a price. If I see Bitcoin going below 70,000, I'm going to put a stop loss in, and at least, hopefully, at least get the money that I put into it, right? Let's see here. Nick says, "Don't be mean to Seb. He's a nice guy. We are all in the same boat." Who's being mean? I haven't seen anybody be. Well, maybe I missed the comments there, but yeah, I try to be nice to everybody. Let's see. Question: do you have a view on the CORZ balance sheet after their CapEx commitment? I don't. I don't have a view on it. I haven't really. I mean, the balance sheet is what it is, right? They took a big hit on the convertible notes and the warrants and things like that. So it came out the way it is, but the stock actually did pretty good today here, nonetheless, and that's because of their growth. They're getting, another additional contract with CoreWeave for additional megawatts. So, I mean, they're doing all the right things. Yellow Gambler says the ratio of shorts to long is very skewed. I hope some whale like Strategy or GameStop will buy spot and liquidate all the shorts. It will happen, right? It's just a matter of who. It could be just the market itself, the whales in here as well. Let's see here. Besides tea and Bitcoins and miners, what's your favorite steakhouse? My favorite steakhouse, there have been a couple that I've been to around in different cities. There's one in Indianapolis that I went to recently. I can't remember the name of it. It's down the main drag there. I had really good steak. Really, really good steak. The other one that I like is Gibson's. Gibson's has really good steaks as well. And then, trying to think if there's another one. There's one in, where was that at? Trying to think. Oh, there was one in Nashville as well, a steakhouse that we went to that was really, really good there as well. But I just can't remember. I'm terrible with names of things that I go to like once or twice. I need to go someplace a couple of times. Same thing with like people. I'm terrible with people and names. I recognize the faces, but names, I'm terrible at. Let's see here. Selling at 65. BTC is selling the bottom sub. DCA. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it goes below 65, I don't know. At that point, that would probably even freak me out at that point. We'll see. We'll see how things progress. All right. Let's see. Question: if you sell off, then that's got to be the bottom. That might be the case, right? I sell off and then things go off. It's just, maybe somebody has a grudge against me or something like that, and they're trying to get me to liquidate. Let's see. Jon Snow says, I'm actually glad I sold my mining stocks with a small loss 2 months ago. Otherwise, my portfolio would have been down 50% otherwise. That was probably smart on you to do that. Sadie, thank you so much. Yeah, likes do help the channel. Let's see. Question: would it be dumb to sell if Bitcoin drops to 60,000? You are locking in your losses. That's buying high and selling low. May as well hold. Yeah, maybe, right? I mean, if that's the bottom at 60,000, we continue up from there. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it, see where things go. Okay. If you could double down on any one miner right now, which one would it be? Well, I'd double down on the ones that I have, right? So Cleanspark, right, IREN, and well, I still have some Bitfarms, but probably I don't know if I want to double down. Maybe I'll double down. I mean, it's at $1. If it goes down even more tomorrow, maybe I'll double down a little bit more on that one too. I'll take a look at where things stand tomorrow. What else we got here? Why wouldn't Sailor buy spot BTC at these prices? I think he's all out of cash. I mean, he had the $2 billion that he got last week, and he spent it on Monday. Gary says if Bitcoin drops to 60,000, ARBKF is going to start losing money mining. All these guys are. So we would probably see hash rate go down. And we could probably, I don't know if we can see if the hash rate has been coming down here recently. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, hash rate has been falling down. Let's take a look at it here really quick. Let's see. There it is. Okay. So here's the hash rate. It went down to 744 on the 7-day, but it went back up to 767. We can definitely see it coming down here. Let's go to 1 day. 1 day is still bouncing between 714 and like 862. But it's definitely more sideways action happening here recently than this kind of 30-day where we see this kind of rise up on it. So it's definitely cooling off here a little bit with the price coming down. But we'll see. The latest data we have is from, when is that? 26. So from yesterday. We don't have today's data. Definitely would like to see that. But that's kind of where we are. Okay, let's see. Seb, so far, are you only buying Cleanspark and IREN dips, not any other miners or BTC and Ethereum? Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I got in way, way lower, in the single thousands range, right? So I got into that at that point. So I haven't been buying that really. I've been buying the miners. Yeah, Cleanspark and IREN are the ones that I'd probably buy. And maybe if we are getting really close to the bottom, maybe I'll buy some other ones as well, like maybe Mara and maybe a little bit more Bitfarms. I sold a bunch, but I was at least in the green at that time. So maybe I'll buy if it's the bottom, maybe I'll buy a little bit more there. John says, I hope the Russell 2000 IWM recovers. If not, miners will have trouble going higher. Trump can't be trusted holding 40% cash. Okay. Hank says, nation states and other countries will front run the U.S. SBR because they will take too long. You snooze, you lose. Yeah, I would agree with that. What is Hive's cost per coin? Hive's, as of last report on them, this is just for, what do I have them at? I have them at 70,000. At 70,000, $250, something like that, roughly, based on what they reported for Q4. What else? Bear with me, I'm trying to read some more here. Let's see, it's working. We are all talking BTC back up. It's over 80,000. Yeah, it's over 8,000 right now. But I'd really like to see it. I would love to see it just drop down to the 78,000, 76,000 mark, and that is it. We're done and over with. I'd love to see that. Let's see. Benny says, I would rather hold until next bear market than sell right now. Yeah, I wouldn't sell like my Bitcoin. I would hold on to that still. I'm not too worried about that. The miners. The reason I would sell the miners, even if I had to sell by a slight loss, because if we're going in a bear market, they're going to be diluting even more going forward. And the stocks are going to be going down even more. So I would at least try to, break even at most. Okay. Sorry if I missed this. Do you think IREN is hitting the ATM at current share price? Probably not. I mean, they should still have a pretty good balance sheet with on their balance sheet, the cash portion of it at least. So I don't think they are. Let's see. Roma says Gibson's and Fogo de Chao best takes in Chicago. Yeah, Gibson's is definitely for sure. I haven't been to Fogo de Chao. Okay. Let's see. Seb, if you sell off, will you still be positive on the miners on your nightly show? We'll cover the miners, if anything, at that point. But I'll be honest with you guys, right? If I sell off, I sold off. We'll see where we go, and then maybe we'll buy in at a lower price. Look for the next buying opportunity potentially. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. The issue with holding miners through a bear market is the management team will dilute you to survive. Yep. So maybe we are getting to the bottom. If I'm talking about possibly selling here, right, which I've been historically very, very optimistic here, this might be a bottom signal. Maybe. Okay, let's see here. Sailor is the best for buying the top. He just doesn't care. Yeah, Sailor just buys. He don't care. Okay. Do you know charts? If so, you must be. Okay, that's a comment there. Okay. Sailor, will you keep using debt to buy dude? Sailor's gonna use convertible notes, whatever you can. Why are you so bullish on IREN? They don't even hold any BTC. Great operations, low cost of mining Bitcoin. And then the other part of it is their growth. Here, still get to 50 exahash later on this year. And for me, the HPCI potential there. That's a bonus. If they get it, that's great. That's kind of like having a HODL for me at this point. What catalyst would you like to see to get us out of this slump? It seems tariffs are on everybody's mind. I know every energy costs play a huge role in this industry, but it's just tariffs everywhere. Tariffs, unfortunately, I don't think are going away anytime soon unless Trump gets the concessions that he wants from Europe, Canada, Mexico, maybe China even as well. He feels like they have all wronged the United States in one way or another. So maybe if they do increase their budgets for defense, they buy some stuff from the United States. That's military equipment and things like that. Maybe that would appease him somewhat there or whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what his end goal is, right? Only he knows what that is. Okay. Why did Bitfarms give up on growing their mining business? Well, they didn't give up completely. They just lowered it from 21 exahash to 18 exahash. And then I think they're going to be using that capital that they would have spent that to buy out Stronghold and maybe build out some of the Stronghold sites as well for that. Let's see. Question. Mara CEO says only catalyst to come up are state reserves for BTC. Utah will be the first, March 13th. Do you see price stabilizing at that point? I think it would help, but hopefully I think price, I can't say the price is going to stabilize after we bottom out here, but I would think that would definitely help. And if we get other states to do it as well, that would be a good thing. Let's see here. BTC to 500,000 LFG. Yeah, I think 500,000 might be doable next cycle. Or unless we have an extended cycle where we go up in Bitcoin price for the next couple of years. Okay. Why are you still bullish on the miners? We all got wrecked. Well, because I believe in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin's still going to go up. That's the main reason why. If I didn't believe that Bitcoin was going to basically retrace, go back up to new all-time highs, then I would be probably very bearish on the miners as well. But that's just why I think so. What's the reason for not holding any CORZ? I had CORZ last year. I had 100% profit on that one. I took it and I put it into the other miners because at least I thought the miners would outperform CORZ, because I think a lot of that stuff was already priced in on CORZ with their contracts with CoreWeave. And they weren't really growing their Bitcoin mining side of things. They're kind of stagnated on that. That's why I thought maybe some of the miners that were getting to 40 exahash, 30 exahash by the end of the year, 50 exahash would do better here. So that's kind of the reason why on that one. Let's see. Hank says, and the shorts are here. Oh, what else here? Tatsamara to mine 20. Yeah, that's off. That's not right. That's only being reported for electricity on the sites that they own, not the miners that they have with the hosting companies as well. So I think that's not correct there. That's a little misleading. All right. Question. Most pure play BTC miners are valued exactly on their NAV, price, BTC, cash, facilities, miners, and debt. The price will keep reflecting this until BTC reverses non-financial advice. Yeah. All right. Why is it if you tell me you own 100 Bitcoin, I would be skeptical and ask you to show your wallet address. But if a company says they own thousands of Bitcoin, they are being honest. Well, there's people out there that have the addresses, right? So there's Cleanspark addresses available. Mars, I think, is available as well. Out there, people have figured out what that is, and I think some of the other miners might have been figured out as well. So that is kind of, you can double check that. I don't think anybody has figured out MicroStrategy, but I could be wrong on that. I haven't heard anybody saying about that one. Let's see. I really thought the ETFs would bring certain price stability. In a sense, they have. And the reason I say that is because it seems way different this cycle, because right now with Bitcoin, I mean, we get these kind of stepping steps basically in Bitcoin, right? We got to 70. Let me pull this up here for you guys' screen. We got to 73,000 in March, right? And then we're kind of trading sideways, and we're actually heading down a little bit here. And then we finally went up the next step, right? What do we do here? We traded sideways again, more or less up and down, but more or less sideways. And now we're coming back down a little bit. You can see that, and then we're going to possibly go back up here. So it's the duration that we have on these corrections and everything else are much longer than they were in the past. In the past, let me see if we can pull this up, maybe on the weekly chart. You can see here that in the past we had like 1 or 2 weeks of corrections and we would go up. 1 week of correction, we would go up. 1 or 2 weeks and go up, right? So we saw that this time around. I mean, it's just, we're having a couple of weeks down, a couple of weeks up, a couple of weeks down. It's just taking a much longer time to go up on it. And then we had a couple of nice weeks here, but we're still having these kind of rallies going up, and then we're having these corrections, and then we're trading sideways, and then we're going back up. So it's a little different from what we've seen here in the past. I mean, you can see it back here as well. In 2017, we had nothing but, greens on the weekly. We had like 1 week in the red, we'd correct 30%, and then we'd go for the next couple of weeks and, all in the green. Whereas now it's sideways trading, downwards trading, then upwards, skyrocketing, and then it's different all around right now. All right, let's see if we can catch up to all the questions here. Hank says, the miners bull cycle hasn't even started yet. It's too soon to sell. BTC went down fast. It will recover faster. Thanks, Sebastian. Have a good night. You too. Thanks for coming in, buddy. What else we here? Moving forward, do you think it's better to invest in AI data center businesses or miners that with the biggest growth? I think there's a place for that as well, right? But the miners here, the only miner that has any kind of huge growth or any business in HPCI is CORZ. Everybody else is talking about it, but they haven't been able to materialize anything with contracts. So will that happen? Possibly, yes. I don't doubt that will happen, but is there enough business for all these guys? That, I don't know. Will miners get previous levels? If BTC come again to all-time high, Bitfarms, Mercer are a good news. They still one of the most efficient. I don't understand the FUD. I'm not sure I understand your question. Will miners go back to their previous highs? I think so, but we need to go like to 200,000, 250,000. Okay. Market cap, let me see, that's not the one, this one. Market cap is near, or Mara's market cap is near their BTC holdings. Why not buy Mara versus any other miners? Their market cap is actually higher. I think they have now 400 some odd million shares. Let's take a look at Mara. I think this is, I got to double check, but I thought I saw this on their report for the results. And I wrote down here 419,880,000 shares. I got to double check this. So don't quote me on this unless you guys also can verify this. But that would give them a market cap of approximately 5.5 billion right now. And then that would equate to about 70% of their market cap being the HODL position there. Okay. But I got to double check those numbers. Again, it's just something that I wrote down there while I was looking at the things, and I just want to double check it again before I actually say that's the case. Okay. So take that with a grain of salt. Okay. Person says, at this point, I'm thinking Mara is better than IREN since Mara has a huge HODL. Mara does have a huge HODL, but they're not being valued for it. They're not getting a premium on it as well. Will they at some point? Maybe. It hasn't played out that way yet. So we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. IREN has better operations, better costs to mine, all that stuff. And they do also have a lot more megawatts available to them going forward. So if they get a nice deal for a hyperscaler or something like that, I think that would be fantastic and huge news for IREN. But it's just a matter of if and when they can actually get one. All right. Question, can you compare XRP versus BTC on the 4-year cycle? XRP better on the 4-year cycle? Here's Bitcoin here on the screen. Let's see if we can add XRP in here as well. Add XRP, USD, we'll do it on that one. Okay, let's see. All right, so on the 4-year time frame, let's go 5 years. So historically, it has kind of followed Bitcoin here. It has underperformed from the October 23rd through basically October of 2024. And then it just recently here skyrocketed. It actually went up pretty high here on the recent news that we had on them. But it's come back down. Bitcoin right now looks like it's outperforming it. It's up 1,259%, while XRP is up 1,000%, based on just what I'm seeing here. Okay. What are your conservative price guesses for IREN and Cleanspark? We'll say BTC goes to 150,000, 200,000. Okay, so that's roughly 100% increase from where it's at right now, right? 120%, something like that, 130%. I would conservatively think that those guys would at least do that. So 100% plus another maybe 100% on top of that. So maybe 200%, maybe. That's if they get, investors in there and get the shorts off of their backs. What's your top holding as of today? My top holding probably is, well, my top holding is going to be Bitcoin. My second one is probably going to be Cleanspark right now, because I'm still in the green on that one, at least for the time being. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, I think I caught up to all you guys' questions here. So, yeah, we'll see where things go. Bitcoin's at 80,000 again. Like I said, I'd love to see it actually just come down and wipe out the 75, 78,000 mark, somewhere around there. Get that wiped out, get that CME futures gap done with, and then let's see if we can actually bounce off of that. I do think we will bounce off of it, but we will have to wait and see it. The one thing that's not a good sign is the uncertainty with the tariffs. That could maybe prolong things longer for us, but we'll see. All right, tomorrow, I'm going to try to do a stream tomorrow. No guarantees. I'm going to be a little tied up in the late afternoon hours. Depending on what time I get back, we'll do a stream. If not, we'll do something maybe on Saturday. If not, we'll do it definitely on Sunday. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, I'm hoping that I will. But if in case I don't see you guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, as always. And then, hopefully tomorrow is going to be a better day than what it is. Hopefully we bottom out and we bounce. Hopefully. So wish you guys a great weekend. Thank you all for coming in, as always, for spending time with me, putting in the comments and the questions and everything else. Greatly appreciate you guys. Love you all. I'll see you guys potentially tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys on Sunday. All right. Have a great weekend nonetheless. Bye.